I know I have a bunch of Rhodes Scholars that follow me and people that have stopped in to listen to me chat about some of my cases that I'm following, mainly the Idaho 4. But this new case that I'm starting to follow, it is like majorly sick. Steven Stearns. I don't know if he, when he did that interview, wanted us to be stupid or crazy, but we are neither one of those. His girlfriend, the mother of Madeline Soto, I sat there and I could not believe that they had pictures in his phone from a couple of years ago that were sexually explicit and she not know. As many of you have followed me from day one when I started putting out videos, I said that I could not believe when when Dylan did not immediately wake up and call the police or anything like that, or she just did not, I can see if she waited till morning and then sought out help. What I'm trying to say here is I believe, as me being a little girl when I was sexually assaulted, that the first thing that I wanted to do was tell my mom that morning. I believe that that little girl told somebody, probably told her mother, and her mother just ignored it because a lot of women are so concerned about keeping the man around in their lives and not really paying any attention to the child who they feel like is messing up their relationship. It begins to create this ugly dynamic. But thank God my mom and my dad, they are not, they listened to me and they were able to help me day one. So let's talk about this.
Tree Road. This morning with more, and Marley, good morning to you. We do know the community and loved ones held a memorial for Maddie yesterday.
Amy, Danielle, good morning. That's right. So a lot of people showed up for this. Parents, grandparents mostly. Just people who either knew her or didn't even know her, but were just shocked to learn what she had to endure and the tragic ending of her life. People brought balloons and toys, flowers, everything you name it, teddy bears, to a growing memorial on the side of Hickory Tree Road in Osceola County. Maddie's disappearance and now murder has sparked a widespread community support in the quest for justice.
Whoever it may be, they need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
New documents reveal more about what the 13-year-old victim might have had to endure. A Kissimmee police arrest affidavit for the prime suspect in Maddie's disappearance, Steven Stearns, that's Maddie's mother's boyfriend, stating photos and videos recovered from his phone show private body parts of a young victim. The metadata timestamping those images all the way back to August of 2022. Although the victim's identity has been redacted, the birth date isn't, and it matches Soto's birthday, revealing that the victim in this report was just 11 years old when the sexually explicit photos and videos were taken. Now, Stern remains behind bars with no bond. Now, he has been arrested for those pictures and videos, but he has not been charged yet in the disappearance of Maddie or for her murder. Reporting live in Kissimmee, Marley Capper, Fox 35 News.
Marley, thank you.
Oh, this is such a sad story. I don't understand for the life of me why some grown man who becomes so fixated on a young person. It's been over many decades since I was between 5 and 6 years old, and pervert came in and sexually assaulted me, touched me inappropriately, and not only did this one time, but did this several times over a course of months and stuff, where my parents, I told them the first time, the first day, when it happened, and they asked me so many questions, my mom. And I'm sure that this young lady, when it happened to her and she was, it first happened, I'm sure, just like me, you're scared and you want to talk to somebody who you trust. She probably spoke to her mother about this situation, and her boyfriend put this, help calm her mom down and put this to bed. And who knows, this because this person was in the home, he probably threatened her life and her mother's life if she were to tell any more. And so you cannot tell me there's not a change in behavior from when a child is molested to when a child, was happy and this didn't happen, because it changed me. It transformed the way I viewed the world and stuff. It was not someone in my home wasn't molesting me. It was some person who kept kept breaking into our home, trying to hurt me. Eventually, that went away. If you were one of my day ones, that's one of the triggers that the Idaho 4 case compelled me to start following, because you got an intruder that comes in at your most vulnerable time when you are asleep at night. And this young lady, the place where you want to feel most safe, at your home, it wasn't a place of safety for her. Every time this little girl probably left her home to go to school, that was more of a refuge than her own home. When she got home, it was constant hell. There's no way, no one can make me believe that this young lady didn't feel like she was in hell. And she had just turned 13. What a beautiful age to be. You're just becoming a teenager. You can almost taste the idea of becoming an adult. And I know she probably dreamt of being free from this. And when somebody violates you at such a young, tender age, it changes you. It changes the way you view the world. I remember when I was 5 or 6 years old, and this happened to me, and when it finally stopped happening, to me, throughout the process, every night I was afraid. I was so afraid that many times I would sneak into my mom's bedroom and I would lay on the floor there with my mom and my dad. They were asleep. And when they wake up in the morning, I was on the floor sleeping. And they would tell me, you need to go, if they got up in the middle of the night, they would tell me I need to go back to my room. But when I go back to my room, and as soon as they go to sleep, I'd be right back on that floor because I wanted to be safe. And she didn't have that. She didn't have the safety of going and laying on her mom's floor to feel safe with her mom, because the person who was assaulting her was in her very home. There's no escape. She's a child. She's trapped, no doubt. But I remember one time that my father and my mom, they were trying to get me to stay back in my room. And it was real late at night. And as usual, I snuck out of my room to go lay on my mom's floor because I always kept feeling like that person was going to break in the house and one day he was going to try to take me away and hurt me or whatever. And my mom, them locked their bedroom door. And I remember I started screaming and banging on my mom's door because I was so afraid, because I felt like that that they had locked me out of their room and out of my safety. This girl, when my mom and my dad, they came to the door and they opened the door up and they said I had to start sleeping in my own room. I went through so much with dealing with that, being paralyzed in my own room for many, many nights. I was one of those persons where it affected me. I would hold myself until the morning sometimes if I had to use the restroom, because I was so scared after that, because they were trying to make me learn how to stay in my own room. And a couple of times I wet on myself because of that. And I felt so ashamed. But all of it stemmed from when I was, when that person came into my home. Now, I don't know what it's like for a person to even take it further than just touching you. I was already frightened and it's already affected me. And, this young lady, oh my God, this young girl, she's, it just breaks my heart. She's gone. She didn't even get a chance to live her life. And she was probably at that moment, who knows, she could have possibly been ready to say, you are not going to do this anymore to me. And he felt afraid of the sins that he did. He killed her to try to hide his own sins that he did against her. Check out the interview of the mother and the stepfather. It is completely obvious that she is nervous beyond belief and something else is going on with this story. She looks like she knows more than she's letting on.
Then said, I was the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. The little girl's life, starting with our interview of the couple. Her mom told us last week.
We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
But in that same interview, then said,
I was the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner.
Detectives believe Maddie was likely dead early Monday morning because the video timeline shows Maddie's belongings being dumped in a dumpster at 7:35 by Stearns. At 8:19, Sheriff Mina said video shows Maddie in Stearns' vehicle believed to be deceased. Since then, the case has moved to Kissimmee Police, and sources tell us that Soto has been interviewed multiple times by detectives at two agencies, and that they are looking closely at all the statements she...
The thing that is so obvious is she's shaking and she's very nervous. I think that she could have allegedly known exactly at that point that her child was missing and dead. And that the boyfriend had something to do with it. And it made her just nervous about the entire situation.
...is made, but officially, Kissimmee Police won't comment. So this initial report also shows that Stearns told investigators that after Maddie got out of his car, she stopped to look in that book bag before he drove away. That same book bag was found actually in the dumpster. After her death, he then said he went home for about an hour after going to the vape store and running errands. He was home that day until 2:30. Detectives say a tip showed him changing a flat tire not far from where the little girl's body was found that afternoon.
All right, Shannon, it is starting to piece together. Thank you. We also spoke to suspect Stephen Stearns before he was arrested. He also told us he dropped off Madeline for school the morning of her disappearance.
She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said thanks, love you too. That was it.
Again, law enforcement believes Stearns never drove Madeline to school and that she was already dead that morning.
Greg, also breaking this afternoon, the state attorney's office says it's asking the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to investigate how and why a photo that appeared to be a body in the woods was posted to the Osceola County Sheriff's personal Instagram page. The photo was posted less than 24 hours after investigators found Madeline Soto's body. Sheriff Mark.
Unfortunately, a lot of times, like when they do find murder scenes, one of the things that one of the things that's protocol is that if the officer is on the scene, they need to start capturing pictures of the murder scene immediately. It's and then to secure the perimeters. Unfortunately, he probably was one of the first officers there, and probably just started snapping some photos and stuff like that. And I definitely believe it was probably an accident that happened. Unfortunately, that is a sad occurrence for that to have happened like that. I don't think he would have put that out there on purpose, because from what I've understood about murder scenes, the first officer on the scene, they have to secure the scene, and if they have cameras, to begin to document, the scene, just take pictures of the scene the way it is. And he just got them mixed up. Unfortunately, he should have been a little bit more careful, but I don't think that he would have done that on purpose, because from what I understood, he took it down immediately. So, but thank you guys. I'm gonna be following this case. I'm going to do a little bit more research on it. I just wanted to put it out there because, like I said, cases like this are very they really touch me, because I have a personal experience that really resonates with me when I hear about helpless children or people in a helpless situation like this. And she didn't deserve to die like this. She didn't deserve to be mistreated in her own home. It's just so sad. And if the mother is involved in any kind of way, I think that she should be prosecuted along with her boyfriend, because that is a form of child abuse, neglect, because should have protected her daughter.